Hey, Mike Healy here again, and I've got another book review success tip for you that you really should pay attention to, because I think what I'm about to share with you and the book I want to go over with you can absolutely change every aspect of your life if you follow along with what's in it, okay? And the book that I'm going to review is called Bringing Out the Best in People by Alan Loy McGinnis. And I'll tell you why. Because most people, they don't understand that everything you do in business and in life has to do with communication and dealing with people. But more importantly, and here's where it comes down to, is most people don't know how to identify or tap into what motivates someone or what drives someone to take action, or how you reward somebody for taking the right actions, or how you don't alienate somebody for taking the wrong actions by criticism or anything like that. And the way I started to learn this was through a gentleman that was in a company I was in that recommended it, and I went through, and it was kind of the first time that anyone gave me a book that went below the how-tos, okay? Because there's tons of books out there on how to, how to do this, how to do that, as far as like sales and, how to give a presentation and what you say and so on, and how to put a PowerPoint together, blah, blah, blah. But the most important thing that I began to learn, that if you don't get this, you're not gonna have the level of success you can, was I began to learn, first and foremost, was the psychology of what motivated and moved people. How to get into that deeper level, kind of peel that onion back and understand where they were at. And I know that once I started to learn those principles, my businesses were kind of like consistent, but then at that point was kind of when they went from, from the, $30, $50, $75,000 a year range to the six figures, to the multiple six-figure range, because they went through that, okay? So, that was what happened. And in this book called Bringing Out the Best in People, he goes and dives into, I believe, it's probably, and he's a psychologist, but it's not weird psychiatry or anything like that. It's literally practical stuff you can apply. I was going to think of applicable is the word I was thinking of, but you can apply immediately and really be effective when you're communicating, not only in business but with your family. If you coach, sports of any kind, whether it's little league or pee-wees or high school, college, or whatever it might be. Some of the things in the table of contents is the psychology of motivation. That's a huge one, right out of the gates, learning how to find what motivates people. Why would somebody take action? Like if you're in charge of a sales force, how could you possibly get your salespeople to move to action, quality action, the results that you want, okay? It explains all that. Tailor-made plan of motivation, a commitment to excellence, the management of failure, building inner drive, the power of success, when to praise and when to reprimand, the will to win, how to get people to cooperate with each other. It just goes on and on and on. But this is probably one of the best books I have ever read, bar none. And if you have to go get a copy, go to Amazon.com, or maybe I'll put a link to the book down below here. Click on it, go get it, read it, absorb it, continue to learn from it. But it's real simple to read too. It's like I said, it's just little tiny boom here, he makes a statement, how to turn your child into a thief, but that, he had the psychology of that, reversing that, believing in the best intentions. He goes on to a climate in which to grow, the pleasure of discovering hidden talent, when people change. So they're all real quick bullet points on each one of these things. So there's the chapters, then there's these little bullet points that he does a great job in here. But this is one that if you have not read it, you got to go get your hands on it and so on. So, hey, I just throwing out the tip for you. It might help you, it might not, but I believe it will if you take the time to read that, acknowledge the information in there, learn it, and apply it. So thanks again. See you on some of the other videos. Appreciate it.